Well, good afternoon, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to Weight Loss Wednesday, episode 107. I'm Chef AJ, the creator of the Ultimate Weight Loss Program, and this is where I answer your questions about healthy, permanent, and sustainable weight loss. But today, I've had many requests to do another What I Eat in a Day episode, so I'm going to do it, and this will probably be the last time I do it because what I eat in a day, it really doesn't change much from day to day. So if you are familiar with me and this broadcast, Weight Loss Wednesday, episode 36, which was a few years ago, I showed that I ate about 8 to 10 pounds of food a day. And if you want to know how that's possible, I really encourage you to watch the Forks Over Knife webinar that I did yesterday on calorie density. It'll be available for 1 week, absolutely free on YouTube. And it's a great presentation for people in general if they want to understand how it's possible to eat more and weigh less, and how slender people such as myself can eat such large volumes of food based on the work of Dr. Barbara Roll's volumetrics. But actually, I just found out today in interviewing Dean Ornish that he actually did it first. He wrote a book about it in 1993 called Eat More, Weigh Less. And if you really understand the principle of calorie density, it's possible to eat way more food and eat way more food, eat more, weigh less, and weigh a lot less. So please consider watching that webinar. It is on YouTube, and please share it with your friends, especially if you are doing the Ultimate Weight Loss Program and they don't understand how you're able to eat so much rice and beans and potatoes and not only be slender, but lose weight. So I really encourage you to do that. I have not broadcast since December 19th, episode 106, because I've been away at True North, and I'm just too busy there to do it, unfortunately. I did live stream almost every opportunity I could. The doctors would not let me live stream their lectures, but I did all of the chef things and things like that. So that's all on the page that you're watching right now. Those probably won't get converted to a YouTube. But by the way, why not go to YouTube and consider subscribing to my channel so that you don't miss some of the interviews that I do that are off YouTube. I'm just looking at my phone right here to see what's going on and if it's possible for me to even share it. This is kind of cool. I could share it. Except I don't have any friends to share it with. And speaking of friends, if you're watching this, you're watching it on my professional Chef AJ page. I don't have a personal page, which means I don't have any friends. I mean, I have friends in life. I don't have any Facebook friends. Therefore, if you try to send me a Facebook message, I don't get it. I don't see it. I don't have something called Facebook Messenger because I don't have a friend page. So it does sometimes notify me that there's a message, but I can't see it. So please, 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 if you're trying to contact me through my website, which is Chef AJ website or eatonprocess.com. And that is the best way to get a hold of me if you're not a member of the Ultimate Weight Loss Program. If you are, you know that all you have to do is tag me, and I'm a first responder to you guys before my email, before anything. So that's the best way to get in touch with me. I barely understand, that's a new word. I barely understand Instagram and Twitter, so try not to leave messages for me there either because I really don't see them. I totally don't understand Instagram, which is one of the reasons I'm doing What I Eat in a Day, because what I did is I posted my food for the day yesterday, and people were saying things like, oh, that's only 1,000 calories. And it's like, no, it's not. You don't know math if you think that this 7 pounds of food that I ate yesterday is 1,000 calories, because I can prove it. I don't like to use Chronometer. I don't like to weigh and measure my food, but because so many people keep asking, I do it for when I do these videos. Otherwise, the truth is I have no idea how much I eat, because I eat when I'm hungry and I stop when I'm full. I started my ultimate weight loss journey on January 2nd, 2012, weighing 165 pounds. It's now a little over 7 years later. I weigh about 115 pounds. My usual weight is a little bit more. I'm usually about 117, 118. But I went to True North, and my husband and I lost weight. You can't help but lose weight there. I mean, all we do is eat and lose weight because the food is so calorically dilute there. It's impossible to put on weight, but I'm sure I'll get back to 117 very soon, especially when I start exercising. I have not been able to exercise since November 12th, other than just very gentle walking with Bailey because I was in a car accident and sustained a rib injury, and I'm still in physical therapy. I haven't been released, and boy, that's going to be a bitch getting back to exercise after like it'll be 3 months, he said, 12 weeks for the injury to heal. That's going to be really hard to get back on the bike, but I'll do it. And let's see. So yeah, I'm going to show you what I ate yesterday. It's pretty close to what I ate. I don't have the exact meal. I don't like to do these what I eat in a day because I don't want to waste food and cook it when I'm not ready to eat it. But what spurred this on was that I started running this fabulous small group coaching program. And it started Monday night at 5 o'clock, and it's just wonderful. It's sort of like I get to hold people by the hand in a small group and take them through the fundamentals of ultimate weight loss, and not have to deal with Facebook, which is just, in my opinion, annoying. And hopefully the Facebook powers are not listening to me now saying Facebook's annoying me, because you're actually allowing me to broadcast here, which is really nice. But so we're using this app sharing thing where, so that the people have accountability partners, which is really amazing. You know, they've proven that if you have a buddy, you're something more like, I think it's 71.5% more likely to be successful in reaching your lifestyle goals. And so instead of having to text and email people picture after picture, this app basically does all your food for the day in one posting that you can post on Facebook, YouTube, text, email. And so I decided to test it to make sure it worked, and it works fine. And so since I already had it, instead of just sharing it with the people in my group, I put it on Facebook and I put it on Instagram. And people on Instagram were saying, oh, you know, they were making kind of a lot of rude comments. And I don't think the people that follow me on Instagram really understand my work at all, because if they've seen anything, they would know that much food, there's no way it could be 1,000 calories. So I'm going to show you basically what I ate yesterday. I recreated it, except I didn't have any carrots right now, so I put some zucchini on this tray. But before I show it to you, I just want to tell you what the calories were of what I ate yesterday, because I put it into Chronometer. And the people that were guessing that I ate 1,000 calories or no more than 1,500 calories, that's ridiculous. You know, most of us need about 2,000 calories a day, and I'm completely inactive right now. So according to Chronometer, the calories I ate yesterday were 1,884, which is probably usually what I eat. I'm guessing between 1,700 and 1,900. I don't count except when I'm doing these kind of broadcasts. But what blew me away is that people always say to me, now I've been vegan for over 41 years, where do you get your protein, right? 57.7 grams of protein, almost 60 grams of protein from eating basically just vegetable starch and fruit, but, you know, vegan diet. I had 329 grams of carbohydrate, and all those people are like, oh, you can't eat carbs, you'll get fat. Really? Well, I ate like 400 and I didn't get fat. I kept getting thinner. So for the percentage, the minimum daily requirement for fiber, 434%, iron, 237%, calcium, 94%, folate, 925%, vitamin A, 15,772%, vitamin C, 913%. The only thing that I fell short on was B12, but we don't get B12 from the food anyway. I take a supplement for that. So let me show you what I ate yesterday, or very close to what I ate yesterday. Oh my God, it's so heavy, I can't even lift it. So this was my food for yesterday. You probably can't see the zucchini because the color. Let's see if I can push this down. Oh, it's so heavy. I mean, no wonder I poop so much. This weighs a ton. Okay, so it's hard to see the zucchini because it's the same color. So I'll take everything up a piece at a time and kind of go through my day. Now, the thing about this app that I'm using, and people are saying, oh, you just eat mono. I don't know if they're saying it like that. That's how I'm hearing it, though. Oh, you just eat mono meals. No. The thing is the way the app works is the thing you take the picture in, I guess because it's meant for Instagram, is really small. So if I have more than one plate, it won't take the whole plate. And so it gives you 6 boxes. So it basically has breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, snack, snack. So it does do a timestamp, which is nice. Sorry, I have asthma. So people, you know, can see when I'm eating to show that, you know, I basically just eat when I'm hungry and I stop when I'm full. But it doesn't mean that like I'm eating just these mono meals. So that said, I actually like doing mono meals because with IBS and just, I don't know, I just enjoy my food that way. I mean, that's kind of how I ate before I ate healthfully. So people ask all the time, well, do you do intermittent fasting? Do you sequencing? Yes and no, meaning I do, but not because I'm trying to lose weight or because it's even a thing. I fell into this concept of intermittent fasting, which Dr. Goldhammer calls intermittent feeding, where you narrow the feeding window to anywhere from 6, 9, you know, even 10 hours a day. The idea is that you're not eating from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to bed. Because when I started exercising, which is something that I didn't do for 52 years, I was taking a class every day at 11 o'clock. It was a 90-minute class, and it was yoga. But even with yoga, I noticed I couldn't do it even if I had a banana in me. It would make me nauseous. So I couldn't eat and then go exercise. Even so, even before I started eating the Ultimate Weight Loss Diet 7 years ago, I never ate breakfast. I was never hungry in the morning. There are people like my husband. I think these people that are naturally slender, that have been slender their whole life, he wakes up and he's starving and he has to eat right away. I've never been that person. even though I might have liked breakfast foods, I wake up between 5:30 and 6. I'm just not hungry. I just naturally don't get hungry till, I don't know, 11, 12. Like today it was 1 o'clock. And no one could have ever been overweight if they ate outside the demands of true hunger. This breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, these are constructs. You don't have to be eating all day. You don't have to be, I don't think you should eat one meal a day. I think that's a terrible idea, and Dr. Goldhammer concurs, and I'm going to be interviewing live probably this Sunday or next Sunday. He does not like OMAD, one meal a day, for weight loss or for health. I think you need to eat at least twice, but you don't have to eat 3 times a day if you don't want. And so I guess I do intermittent fasting, but not because I'm trying to do anything according to the research in terms of increased longevity or lose weight. It's because I'm not hungry. If I was hungry, I'd eat. But I can only think of literally one time in my life that have ever woken up hungry in the morning, and that was June 16th, 2015. My dog Sparky had died the day before, and I was really depressed, and I didn't eat for 40 hours. And after not eating for 40 hours, that next day when I woke up, I was dizzy. And so maybe I wasn't hungry, but I was dizzy, and I felt if I eat, that would be better. So just not hungry in the morning. For 43 years, all I had in the morning was a Slurpee. That was like 600 calories. Wasn't hungry, but I needed it because I was on drugs, caffeine and sugar. And then another 600 calories for lunch from Dr. Pepper. Wasn't really hungry. I was just medicating with the 2 drugs that I needed, which was caffeine and sugar. So I don't eat usually until 1. I mean, sometimes it's 12. If I'm spinning, I might get hungry sooner, but I would say most of the days I'm just sitting right here answering emails, doing interviews, and I try to always go to bed by 10 o'clock. Sometimes I don't fall asleep till 11, but I need 8 hours sleep, and so I wake up between 5:36, 7 at the latest. I don't use an alarm clock unless I have to get up on a plane or something. And then I drink in the morning, not drink like alcohol, I drink pot liquor, except my husband's been home sick for like a week, and he hasn't been eating his vegetables, which means till today there was no pot liquor. So I was drinking herbal teas, peppermint tea is what I like. So yeah, I don't eat in the morning. I get hungry, I eat. First thing I eat is vegetables, because my philosophy, my mantra is if you're not hungry enough to eat vegetables, you're probably not hungry. And it's interesting because the number one reason that people won't even consider the Ultimate Weight Loss Program is because they won't eat vegetables for breakfast. And the number one reason that people succeed and overcome their food addiction and lose weight is because of vegetables for breakfast. The truth is you don't have to follow the program to join the program. And what a lot of people do is they find this incredible community of like-minded people, a tribe of people that they become very close with. And then when they're ready to do it, they do it. So you don't have to think about whether or not you can follow the program 100% to join the program, because not everybody is doing it at 100% all the time. So my husband also for 7 years has eaten vegetables for breakfast. He's slender. He doesn't have food addictions. But he realized that unless he ate the vegetables for breakfast, he just wasn't eating them. Because once you go on to oatmeal and fruit, which is basically sugar and flour in a healthy form, aka cake, you don't go back and eat your vegetables. So that's how you know if you're hungry, if you'll eat vegetables. And I learned that at the True North Health Center when I've been working there at the holiday extravaganza for the last 8 years. This was the 8th extravaganza. And if you want to go, it's almost already sold out because everybody that comes back. It's a wonderful event that takes place December 23rd to January 2nd. And I'm like Julie from the Love Boat. I coordinate it, I host it, I do cooking demos and special things that I do there. And on Christmas Day and New Year's Day, Dr. Goldhammer lets the staff have the day off. And so I'm working in the kitchen and I'm delivering the orders. And when I say orders, people that are coming off a fast, they don't necessarily eat in the dining room. We're delivering them their food, which one of the first foods they eat is steamed zucchini. And I remember delivering the steamed zucchini to a lovely lady that fasts every year. And she ate it as if she was eating a hot fudge sundae. It was like that scene from Harry Met Sally. And that's when I really realized that when you're hungry, even vegetables taste good and look good. I mean, the way she opened it and sniffed it and just, it was like watching somebody do a wine tasting. So my first food of the day for the last 7 years, with the exception of when I go on the vegan cruise and I can't get vegetables for breakfast and I do the green powder instead, is vegetables. Now, for years, I wanted them to taste really, really good. And there's nothing wrong with wanting your food to taste good. It's just that everything tastes good to me now. Once you neuroadapt, I don't need bells and whistles. I mean, I love the vinegars and the salt-free spices, and I do use them, especially when I'm cooking for others. But once you neuroadapt, everything I eat tastes amazing because hunger is the best sauce. And when you're hungry, everything tastes amazing. So I don't mind eating plain food. Again, with my IBS, I just know what works for me, and simple foods not only taste good to me, it's cheaper, it's easier to prepare. I don't have to worry about it. You know, willpower is only required when you have to make a decision. If you're always having to think about what to make and what to eat, you know, who has time to go to work? So I just eat simply. I eat the same thing every day. You know, I was realizing today that even when I was fat, I ate the same thing every day. I wasn't having a different flavor of Coke Slurpee every day for breakfast. I wasn't having a different flavor of soda every day for lunch. All the candies, cakes, cookies, pies, and ice creams I ate were basically the same. You know, there was very little variety in there. You know, when I was trying to transition off, you know, white sugar to more healthy vegan, I mean, I had a peanut butter sandwich on raisin toast with banana every day. That was like 800 calories, which is the same calories in 2 pounds of potatoes. So I never really was a person that sought a lot of variety or wanted a lot of variety. So why do I have to have a lot of variety now? However, if you need it and you want it, 18,000 different types of legumes, 117 recipes in my new book, 109 in my other book. There's plenty of variety out there. You don't need any more recipes. You need to learn to like the food. You need to take the time to neuroadapt, whether that means just doing this for a few months or going to True North so that you can neuroadapt. But once you do, everything we eat tastes amazing. You know, I've had dinner a few times now with Dr. Furman. He's even come to my house a couple times. And he says he eats this way. Dr. Furman's never needed to lose weight. He doesn't have food addiction. He goes, it's how he enjoys eating. And those of us that do this, this is how I enjoy it. It's been 7 years now. So let's see. I wanted to show it to you. Sorry about this. Asthma. Anyway, so at the beginning, it had to taste really, really good. And so I would have to put some kind of sauce on the greens, you know, I like saute them with mushroom, and it had to taste really, really good. But I got used to the taste, and I liked them plain, or just with like a squeeze of lemon or lime. I would do my oven roasted ratatouille a lot at the beginning because it made a lot. And that's another thing. If you batch cook vegetables like roasted Brussels sprouts, the balsamic Dijon glazed Brussels sprouts, or the oven roasted ratatouille, then you have it to last several days. So I just don't have time for that most days. I love it when I do it. So I just started doing zucchini, and I really liked it, steamed zucchini. I was doing that for a long time. And then I didn't get sick of it, but I'm like, hey, I want a little variety. So I started doing it air fried for a long time. And then, like I said, I didn't get sick of it. I wanted to change. So now my vegetable du jour right now is Brussels sprouts. But I prefer the baby Brussels sprouts because they're tender and more sweet. I get these frozen at Trader Joe's, and I cook them for 8 minutes in my Pampered Chef micro cooker, and they're fabulous. They're just tender and delicious. Now, what's interesting is I used to eat 2 pounds of vegetables for breakfast when I was eating zucchini. But zucchini is only about 67 calories per pound, so I needed more because it was mostly water. Sorry. Anyway, going to the fulminant tomorrow. This is embarrassing. Anyway, Brussels sprouts are more, oh boy, maybe I shouldn't have done this today. Brussels sprouts are more calorically dense. This bag is 200 calories, so I only eat a pound. So this will be my first food of the day. It's delicious. And then when I get hungry, I'll eat some starch. And I might be hungry 5 minutes after the Brussels sprouts. On some days, like especially if I spin, 20 minutes after. Some days it lasts me 1 or 2 hours. So then I'm going to go to my potatoes. And this is what I had for lunch, was 1.5 pounds of the Japanese sweet potatoes. These are actually the Murasaki from Trader Joe's. This is 1.5 pounds. I know that because I weighed them. Now, when I'm not doing a broadcast, I don't weigh them. I eat as many as I want until I'm full. So maybe some days I'm eating a pound, some days I'm eating 2 pounds. I don't know. It doesn't matter. You don't have to weigh and measure. When you understand what to eat, it doesn't matter how much you eat or when you eat or why you eat or how you eat. So how I ate these today was I cut them in half and I smushed them with my hand and I air fried them, and they were crunchy and delicious. But this is about exactly what I ate. But I said this is what I ate yesterday. So yesterday, that's what I ate as well. Now, in the middle of the day, I had some carrots. I had about 12 ounces of purple carrots. I don't have them today, but this would about be the equivalent if I was going to do it in zucchini. I also had a large salad of over a pound. I always keep a large salad already made in my Tupperware in my refrigerator, always have lots of arugula in it. And, you know, I have so many videos to see what I eat in a day. I have the one I did many years ago called Easy Meals to Make You Thin. I have Easy Meals to Keep You Thin. I have what I eat in a day. So I have 4 or 5 of my batch cooking videos just to show you how I do it, how I cook my potatoes and things like that. So I had that. And then for dinner, yesterday, and we're talking yesterday, this will probably be the same thing today, I had probably 2 pounds of potatoes. And yesterday it was a combination of these Hannah yams and russets, which I had cooked and cooled, and then I cooked in the air fryer. I ate them as fries. And then for dessert, I had 2 Calorie oranges. That came to almost 1,900 calories, almost 60 grams of protein. And the only change, I mean, this is pretty much what I eat every day. The type of potato might change. I don't avoid grains. I love grains. I have been sick for a while with asthma, and actually up until yesterday when I ate potatoes, I was eating soup every day. I was eating vegetable soup mostly, and then adding rice to it as my starch. So I do love grains, and I eat grains. I just happen to like potatoes more. I think they're more delicious and more satiating. Every now and then, instead of fruit, I don't eat fruit until the end of the day. As a recovering sugar addict, the last thing I want to do is start my day in a sweet way. I always believe in starting my day in a savory way and saving those sweet calories for later, because once I start on fruit, I mean, I don't think fruit is bad, by the way. I don't think fruit causes you to gain weight, but I just tend to overdo it. It's too sweet for me now. So once I start on fruit, I can't stop. I think, sometimes I'll put like a little bit of pineapple or an apple in my salad, or pineapple with my greens, but for the most part, I save fruit for the end of the day. And then I don't eat fruit every day. At least I don't eat sweet fruit every day, and only because sometimes I'm just too full. I don't eat if I'm not hungry, but if I have room for it, instead of going back for more starch, I'll probably end with some fruit. Sometimes I'll have one of my muffins, my pumpkin raisin muffins, and this would probably be the equivalent of having fruit, because it's mostly fruit and about the same calories. Just saw Steve Middleman saying, hi, AJ. Hi, Steve. How you doing? So that's what I eat. 3 pounds of starch a day, mostly from potatoes, sweet potatoes, or winter squashes, but sometimes from whole grains like rice, quinoa, millet. I eat 3 to 4 pounds of non-starchy vegetables, at least 3 every day, and about a pound of fruit. And that's 7 pounds of fruit. If you watched my Forks Over Knives calorie density webinar that I gave yesterday, it's still on YouTube for another few days. You'll understand how many pounds of food most people eat a day, which is about 5. Since I'm eating very calorically dilute food, since I'm not eating fats and oils and animal products, then I have to eat more. I have to eat more calories. So if you like to eat, then you might want to consider this dietary style of the Ultimate Weight Loss Program, where you can eat 7 to 10 pounds of food a day and be slender and be satisfied and have the most nutritious food on the planet, and don't have to weigh and measure your food. I mean, this, when we think about the weighing and measuring programs, I mean, they probably eat in a day like what I eat, not even in a meal. It's so sad to me. I feel so bad for those people, because they come to the program and they're the hardest people for me to help, because they are just, it's like they've been brainwashed. Anyway, so what I want to tell you, this will probably be my last live of Weight Loss Wednesday. I'll still do them, but I really want to, a lot of people really want to see me do the recipes. So I really want to get more and more of the recipes from my book done, so that I will release one of those every Wednesday. But I want to tell you where I'm going to be this year, in case you want to see me, because I'm not going to travel anymore. I have 9 appearances that were scheduled last year, so I'm not going anywhere anymore. And I'm going to stay home, and I've got 2 more books I've got to write, and I've got this big project behind me, The Real Truth About Weight Loss Summit, which takes place live March 16th to 24th. I'll get you more information on that. You'll definitely want to sign up and maybe even be an affiliate. Be sure you're on my mailing list at eatunprocessed.com, interviewing 32 of the best inspiring people, mostly doctors, on this subject. Just interviewed Dean Ornish today. What a highlight of my life. What an incredible man. Speaking of Dean Ornish, it's so interesting, because this book, I believe, came out before Barbara Roll's book, Volumetrics. And what's really interesting is, I'm sure you know who he is. Actually, not everybody does, because my makeup artist today, who's 21, didn't know who he was. She goes, well, what's the occasion today? Well, I'm interviewing Dean Ornish. Well, who's Dean Ornish? Who's Dean Ornish? Dean Ornish is the first person who successfully reversed heart disease with a low-fat, plant-based diet. And what's interesting is the same diet that reverses heart disease is a parallel for weight loss. And this book, which was written in 1993, he has this table for the maximum fat intake for men and women. And what's interesting is, if I want to stay the weight I am, then even eating 1 ounce of nuts a day is going to put me over this. It's a fantastic book. I really I recommend my book too, but this was first, as is the McDougall program for maximum weight loss. So where I'm going to be. Well, first let me tell you, if you could only see me one place, this is where I'd recommend you see me. which is in Las Vegas. On January 1st, we announced the keynote speaker. Well, I don't know if he's keynote because we're all kind of a team, but the new speaker, and there'll probably be more added, but that's Tom Campbell. And he runs a weight management clinic at the University of Rochester. And he really knows more about weight loss and food addiction than almost anybody I know. And he's a fabulous speaker and a fabulous person. He's the co-author of the China Study and the son of Dr. T. Colin Campbell. So he'll be coming there with his 2 little kids and his wife, who's also a doctor named Erin. We're so excited to have him. And of course, we have the core 4, the same team as always, myself, John Pierre, Dr. Lyle, Dr. Goldhammer. Takes place every Labor Day weekend at the Tuscany Resorts, which is off the strip, a fabulous hotel with affordable, very large rooms. The hotel staff does an amazing job with the food, which is SOS free and SOFAs free, sugar, oil, flour, alcohol, salt. Absolutely delicious. And if you register by February 1st, you will save $300. This is probably the most affordable plant-based conference you will ever attend. So please register for that as soon as possible. So that would be the place I would rather see you, because then I would have more time to spend with you because it's my conference. And then the other place would be the True North Health Extravaganza, the Holiday Extravaganza, December 23rd to January 2nd. It's almost sold out because everybody resigned. I mean, they put their $500 deposit down. So that's a really fun place to be during the holidays. So here's where else I'll be. February 9th, I don't know the name of the church when I'm speaking. Dr. Hans Deal asked me to speak for him at a church in Loma Linda, so I'm doing that. March 1st through 3rd, I'll be in Fort Lauderdale at the Balance for Life retreat with Frank Sabatino. And then I'll board the ship for the Holistic Holiday at Sea cruise on Sunday, March 3rd. But I'm only going to be there for 3 days, speaking only Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, flying out Thursday. So I'll be there for 3 days. If you really want to spend quality time with me, and I mean quality time, Rancho La Puerta in Mexico, April 13th through 20th. Put that on your bucket list. It's the greatest vacation you've ever had. Yes, you can get food our way there. It is not a problem. I've been going there for, I don't know, maybe like 7, 8 years, once or twice a year, as both a speaker and a guest chef. And you can take hands-on cooking classes with me. They're fabulous. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. May 17th through 19th in North Carolina at the Peapod Conference. That'll be my first time there. May 26th, I'm doing something in New York City, and I don't know what it's called, but Sharon McRae set it up, and it's with myself and Joel Furman. So that's a one-day event on Saturday, May 26th. I believe that's Memorial Day weekend. And then June 28th through 30th in Cleveland at the NHA conference. So that's where I'm going to be if you want to see me, and you can see me taped every Wednesday from now on Weight Loss Wednesdays. So let's see, I can maybe look at this and see if there's any questions, or I gotta go to Trader Joe's. Oh, Fascia Blast, I remember that. I have a masseuse that uses that. Wow, Lee Dean says, never felt better eating whole food plant-based, weight is falling off. Absolutely. Julie says, my makeup is gorgeous, thanks. It was done by Sammy Ramos, and she's amazing. She's on Instagram, and I did a live stream of her putting my makeup on. Thank you, Dixie. Hi, Cynthia. What's pot liquor? Sue, pot liquor is what they call vegetable broth in the South. It's the liquid that's left over when you steam vegetables. Okay. Colleen ate salad for breakfast at noon. Very good. Pat says, I look glamorous. It was all for you, Dean. No, Dr. Ornish, just kidding. Thank you, Shirley. After hearing from you that veggies were okay to eat for breakfast, I began the journey. I love veggie breakfast. That's what Pam says. And you know, the rest of the world eats veggies for breakfast, guys. Only the countries that are fat and sick and addicted eat sugar and flour and coffee and things like that. They, you know, when I was in Japan in 1994, I was there as a comedian doing a television show, and I was vegan already. They didn't know because nobody even spoke English where I was back then. And that's what they fed me for breakfast in 1994 in Japan. Everyday breakfast, miso soup with vegetables, rice, and salad. Yeah, let's see. Favorite VFB. Christy's favorite VFB is broccoli. Right now mine is Brussels sprouts, but that will change. Pat wants to know the website for nutrient calorie count. It's called Chronometer. It's a free app. So that's that. Valerie says, hooray for neuroadaptation. Yep, once you love your food, you just love your food. Cannot wait to get home and watch this. Oh, Kristen, thank you so much. Hi, Peggy Harder. Remember, that was my mom's name, Harder. Harter. Yeah, it's funny because Valerie's saying she loves the frozen Brussels sprouts. I never really liked Brussels sprouts, especially frozen, and not the big ones, but there's something about the baby ones. And if you hate vegetables, consider the baby ones because they're milder to me, like baby kale is milder. Can you drink warm water for lubrication? Well, it depends. What are you trying to lubricate? But I don't think there's anything wrong with drinking warm water or warm water with lemon. That's kind of tea. Yeah, Peggy, the Costco sells the ones that are individual. Those are very, very good too. Hello, Tabitha. Yeah, the Brussels sprouts are 1 pound bag. Okay. Thank you, Jen Matt. She says, I've teached her so much. I'm such a good teacher, I can't even speak. Yeah, Robin says JSP is so excited. JSP is an acronym for Japanese sweet potatoes, and those are a game changer. One year I was at True North for 5 weeks when the extravaganza went longer. And I'm really not a picky eater, but I don't know why. I just don't like buckwheat. I try it there every year. I try to like it. I don't like it. And that day, that was the only starch, and I just didn't want to eat it. And one of the guests there had a Japanese sweet potato, and I tried it, and it changed my life. I'm never that hungry. That's a lot of food. Well, I don't know if you're overweight or not, Kathy, but when you're overweight, you have food on your body, and so you have reserves, which means that you may not get as hungry as somebody that doesn't have the reserves because it's like you have a buffet you're carrying around with you. And I'm not implying that you're overweight. I'm just saying for people that are, that's often why they don't get hungry. And that's probably why my husband's always been hungry, because he's always been very, very thin. So Jennifer says, I am amazing. Love your live videos and love to have you on I'm happy to be on your podcast, Jennifer. Just again, don't message me through Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Just write me through the mailing list, please. eatunprocessed.com. Where do I get potatoes that big? Pam wants to know. Whole Foods is one place, actually everywhere. So right next door is Farm Boy, which is a mom and pop fruit and vegetable store. They always have them at least 2 pounds. And Ralph's, which is owned by Kroger's, always has them. So those of you that can't get the Jerseys or the Hannah, I feel so bad for you because I actually like those better than the Japanese sweet potatoes. They're a little bit less sweet. When I taught in Colorado for Kelly Williamson in Denver, they couldn't get them there. They are my very favorite potato. But here, everything is big. California, everything is big. How did you fix the potatoes before they were air fryers? I don't eat them in the air fryer very often, just for kicks and giggles to mix it up. I roast them, and I actually roast them in the air fryer because I have a Breville, and it has a roasting feature, and it's just easier than turning on my oven. It preheats quicker. It doesn't heat up the whole place. What about beans? Beans are great. I'm allergic to legumes. I haven't eaten them in almost 5 years now. You do not have to eat any particular food to be healthy. If you can eat them, they're wonderful. They're a resistant starch, but I cannot eat them. There's a lot of people that have an intolerance or an allergy. You just need to eat starch. You could live on potatoes, sweet potatoes, and winter squashes, but you can't live on rice or beans because they lack vitamin A and C. If I could eat beans, I would. I really miss Kathy Fisher's tuna, but it's been 5 years, and I'm completely fine without them. I hate that my trigs jumped up. Well, what kind of potatoes were you eating, and how do you know that the triglycerides went up from potatoes? How do you know it wasn't from fruit? Because I've never heard of it jumping up from potatoes. But were they white potatoes? I don't think they were sweet potatoes then. And how much fruit were you eating? Lydia's new and learned a lot from me. Valerie loves you, WL, and we love Valerie. I'm such a blessing to all who know me. What about to those who don't know me? Just kidding. Sherry says I look great. I know Sherry said she hasn't worn makeup in 20 years. I'm telling you, makeup is levels the playing field. Almost 60. I wish I didn't have these guys. You guys have any tips on those? Lift that tray a few times and you'll have Kristen Bummer arms. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I could eat sprouts for breakfast. Good, she loves sprouts. Yeah, it's too late for me to ask Dr. Ornish anything. It took me 9 years to get him to answer my email, and I don't think he is coming back on. How to create natural oil from onions. Is this something that Ornish does? I don't know. Go to his website, ornish.com. Yeah, Dixie. Oh my God, Dixie. Oh, Linda Middlesworth is going to kill me. How could I forget to say where I'm going to be February 17th? I'm a terrible person. Dixie, I think it might be because it's sold out that I didn't even add it to the list. You're so right. Healthy Taste of Sacramento, February 17th. We're going to have a spice guy there and a vinegar guy there. So there's going to be 2 vendors. It should be great. Can you eat all that food and not worry about exercise? Absolutely, Janine, because as I mentioned, I'm nursing an injury and I haven't exercised since November 12th other than walking my dog a little bit. And I lost 47 of the 50 pounds that I've now kept off for over 5 years now with no exercise. So you lose weight in the kitchen. It's in the gym that you build muscle. You don't need exercise to lose weight. Exercise, that said, is good for you. It's good for brain health, bone health, immune function. It raises your self-esteem and increases the ability to stick on a healthy eating plan, but you don't lose weight exercising. Look at the Scientific American Journal, The Exercise Paradox. You do not lose any weight exercising. What about the beans? Didn't you ask that before? What about the beans? You don't need beans. If you like beans, eat beans. Thank you, Lanya. I hope I pronounced your name right. Charles and Bailey must be so happy. Oh, they're going to be really happy. Speaking of Charles and Bailey, I mean, if you know me, you got one of these from me. I have a few left, but there we go. That day I did my own makeup. I do it okay, but not as good as Samantha. That's my family. Okay. One day it'll be at a conference to see me. Well, hurry up, Robin, because after next year, the only conference I'm going to go to is my own, honestly, because I am done. I've been traveling for 10 years. Karen, if you like my makeup, come to the makeup class with me Sunday morning at 9 a.m. It's Sephora. Samantha did it. Will I come to Columbia, Maryland in November? Depends if Sharon McCrae is watching this or not. I don't want to, but if Sharon makes me, she's my sister, I might have to, but I would prefer not to. Is she definitely doing it again? Eesh. I don't like to travel, you guys. I don't like to fly. Let me put it this way. I don't like to fly, and I don't like to be in a car. So that leaves the train, and there's not too many places you can take the train. Yay, Christy, 100%, 9 days. Good for you, Christy. That's 9 stickers. Runway ready. I know. It's just, I feel so much better with makeup. It takes too long, and I don't know how to do it. Do I ever use teriyaki sauce on my veggies? So Missy, traditional teriyaki sauce is high in fat and high in sugar, so no. But I do use the teriyaki vinegar from California Balsamics. You can go to YouTube and watch my episode of pineapple fried rice. It is an SOS-free vinegar, so it tastes very much like teriyaki sauce. If you put my name, Chef AJ, and to leave us a message box, he'll give you 2 free samples, and they have a little Chef AJ pack of my 5 favorite flavors, which are sweet heat, habanero, raspberry flame, Gilroy garlic, and teriyaki. So I do put the teriyaki vinegar on, but not traditional teriyaki sauce, which has a salt, sugar, and often oil. So thank you, Meyer, for the nice compliment. Yeah. Babies are better. What do you mean, Sherry? What babies are better for? Oh, baby Brussels sprouts. Okay, but she meant like babies are better than Brussels sprouts. Yes, Peggy, Brussels sprouts shredded on salad are great, and that's why people love cruciferous crunch so much. If you live near a Trader Joe's, it's my husband's very favorite vegetable. It's shredded Brussels sprouts, green cabbage, purple cabbage, kale, and broccoli, and it's so delicious. Are there any whole food plant-based doctors in Central Illinois? Gary wants to know. Gary, go to plantbaseddocs.com and find out. I don't know. Peggy, why do you keep asking me if I eat beans? It's like 3 times. How many times do I have to say no? I don't. Oh my God. I'm just teasing you. Why? How are my teeth so white? Well, I go to the dentist twice a year. I don't drink any coffee. I do drink tea, but it's weak herbal tea. I don't think that stains them. I really don't eat any, it's funny because my teeth, when I was drinking Slurpees and soda every day, my teeth were not this white. They were really, really stained. So anyway, thank you. And also when you wear makeup, your teeth look whiter. That's the other thing. It's contrast. So that does make a difference. Okay. What is the name of it's called California Balsamic. Maybe I can type it in right now for you. California. Is it balsamic or balsamics? Balsamic. Hold on. I'm going to try balsamics.com, but it might be only one, no S. I really don't know. Let's see if that takes us to, oops, look what happened. It took me off. Okay. I'm seeing if that was the correct website. But apparently you shouldn't click on things when you're on Facebook Live. If it's not S, it has just a C. Maybe somebody, nope, it probably isn't. It's not. I'm going to change that, edit it, and then take out the S. There we go. Try it now. I don't even know how to spell balsamic, to tell you the truth. Oh, there. Colleen put it up. Thank you, Colleen. Yep, it worked that time, guys. Make sure you get your 2 free samples. So anyway, that's that. That's where I'll be. Please come to Vegas. And if you guys have any questions, because after this, I'm probably going to just be doing these in recipe format, in pre-recorded recipe formats. And I have 2 new recipes, by the way, that are in my book that are going to be the first 2 things that I'm going to do. Yes, they do have a Facebook page, Mardell. They absolutely do. Thanks for posting, Charlene. Do they ship to Australia? Francesca, my guess is maybe not, but if you contacted Thomas and you were willing to pay the shipping, he might. The shipping in the United States is a flat $8.95 regardless of how much you get. But, you know, obviously Europe, Asia, you know, out of the country, that wouldn't really be fair. So I'm going to check my phone. When am I shooting the Ornish interview? It was shot today. It'll air between March 16th and 24th. Yeah, Pat, being tan, I am tan, and being tan does make your teeth look whiter, and also wearing dark lipstick as well. So anyway, you know, so if you follow me on Instagram or even here, I'll do these little posts of what I'm eating in a day now, because we're in this 12-week program. I'm doing the program with the participants, but just keep in mind that the way the app works, it doesn't mean that I'm just eating that. It just means that that's what I'm taking a picture of, because there's only 6 slots for me to take a picture of. And it's just, my food is so big that I can only fit one of the things that I'm eating on a plate. I hope that makes sense. So that's what I eat in a day. It's probably not going to change. It hasn't changed for years. About 3 to 4 pounds of non-starchy vegetables, sometimes with sauces and vinegars and spices, sometimes plain, sometimes roasted, sometimes steamed, sometimes raw. Usually in that is usually 1 pound of it is raw, usually in the form of a salad, 3 pounds of starch, and a pound of fruit. And that comes to almost always 1,800 to 1,900 calories every day. It's a lot of food. It's delicious, and I recommend it. So if you guys don't have any more, do I make plant milk or purchase any recipes? Yes, in my book, I have recipes for almond milk. And on my YouTube page, I do 2 different versions of it. I don't drink a lot of plant. I mean, the only thing I really drink is water and pot liquor and hibiscus tea and herbal tea. So I don't think we should be using plant milk as a beverage, but as a condiment, or maybe in a soup, like some of my soups, like the creamy curried kabocha squash. And so I'm going to be getting some samples from this company that I saw in Sacramento that I was really impressed with, called 3 Trees, because almond milk almost always has at least salt in it. It's pretty easy to get plant milk without sugar and plant milk without oil, but it's really hard to find it without salt unless it's the high fat ones like the soy milk or the coconut milk. And I'm allergic to soy, and I'd rather not have the high fat of the coconut, as delicious as it is. That's what they were using at True North in all their soups. That's why they were so good. So when I was doing a job in Sacramento last year, the co-op had this brand called 3 Trees, and I actually found it here at Gelson's, and it's literally just almonds and water. So if I'm going to drink that, that's what I'm going to buy. But it's really easy to make your own oat milk, rice milk, you know, hemp seed milk, just from the rice, the nut, or the nut butter, or the oat and water. That's all it is. It just it doesn't taste as good to a lot of people without this added salt and sweetener and things like that. So yeah, keeping it simple with a spiral notebook. Yeah, you don't need a fancy app. They will ship to Australia, Deb says. That's very good. So yeah, Christy, the job, ask Sharon McCrae, tag her on our group page. I don't know where the job is. I think it's in a Jewish center, a Jewish community center, but I do know it's Saturday, May 26th, Memorial Day weekend. Let's see. You have a great evening too. Yeah, Colleen, the almond milk is just for the soups, and sometimes I don't even put it in. The other day I wanted to make a blended cream soup, and we didn't have any, so just used water, you know. Do I find myself eating the same veggies over and over? Amy wants to know. Yeah, as I mentioned, even when I ate crappy, I didn't have a huge amount of variety, and I think part of the reason is because really to be successful in this way of eating, you have to always be prepared, because preparation always trumps motivation. And it's just easier. For me, I get in a routine of prepping the same thing over and over again. Even my weekly salad, it's almost always the same. I could put anything in it. I live next door to Trader Joe's, but it's always romaine and cabbage and carrots and riced cauliflower and cucumbers, because that's what I like. And I like other salads when other people make them, but I just kind of do it the same way. I guess some people would call it a rut. I call it more of a routine. But I do find myself eating the same ones over and over because I really like them. I love purple carrots. I love the brown Kumata tomatoes. I love Brussels sprouts. I love zucchini. That doesn't mean I don't love broccoli and cauliflower, and I'll eat them. And a lot of times I'll use them in soup, or especially if I'm making stir fry, or steamed vegetables to go with rice. But yeah, I mean, it's so easy. Steve Jobs wore the same thing every day, and now Dr. Goldhammer does too, by the way, all black. And Einstein did the same thing, because it's like you don't have to think about it. And whenever time you have to make a decision, you're depleting willpower. And if you have to sit there every day thinking, oh my God, what do we eat for breakfast? What do we eat for lunch? I see what's in the fridge, and what's in the fridge is what I've prepped, which is I batch cook my sweet potatoes, and I always have a salad ready, and I always have vegetables ready, and there's always fruits. So that's what I eat, because that's all I have in the house. And that's always going to be the biggest determinant of your success, is your environment, because if it's in your house, it's in your mouth. Let's see. Do I eat vegan cheese? Not anymore, because it's too high in fat, Celia, and often it's made with nuts or oil. So my husband eats it occasionally. He loves Miyoko's brand. It's not that I don't like it, but I can't eat fat without being fat, so I don't eat it. You're very educated in what you do. What did you do before you started this? Sarah, I think it was episode 50 where I answered every question about myself that I could. So what did I do? What didn't I do? I did not expect this to be my job. I wanted to be a veterinarian. That was what I wanted to do, which is why I went to the University of Pennsylvania. Instead, I became a vegetarian. And so I've had a lot of jobs. My very first job when I was 14 years old was I worked in a bakery. And that's not even realizing I was a food addict back then. That was a perfect job. But here's the funny thing. It was called The Finnery. And it was owned by Gene Nidich, the founder of Weight Watchers. So it was a diet bakery, and everything was made with artificial sweetener. And we had this ice cream machine, and we could eat all we wanted, and it was fake but delicious. And so that was my first job. And then my second job, I worked at Sears at the hardware department. And after that, I had lots of jobs. I worked in a veterinary laboratory. I worked in a library. I was a bank teller. I was a respiratory therapist. I was a dog walker, actually, for some very well-known people, for celebrities. I was a caterer. What else did I do? Oh, the longest thing I did, though, probably was before I went to culinary school in the year 2000, I was an activity director in retirement homes. So that's what I did for a really, really long time. And I also was a professional poker dealer, not for Vegas kind of standards, but companies, when companies had parties, I would never want the pressure of dealing a game for money where I could make a mistake, but I love dealing poker. And as a matter of fact, one of the highlights of the True North Holiday Extravaganza is the poker tournament, which I came in second this year. And it's so fun playing poker with Dr. Goldhammer. I really enjoy your interviews. You ask the questions I would ask. Thank you, Lauren, because believe it or not, I like being behind the camera more than being in front of the camera. And this job that I got hired to do for The Real Truth About Weight Loss, I don't talk very much on these summits. I'm more of the tech person. I really try to make the interview about the guests and only speak when necessary, but I love listening to people and more than talking to them, because I feel like I say the same thing all the time. And if you want to know what I say, watch the Forks Over Knives Calorie Density webinar. Maybe somebody could post the link here. Hi, Zerlina. Thank you for sharing. What's your favorite way to fix the purple carrot? Cut the tip off and eat it. All carrots used to be purple before the Dutch hybridized them in the 17th century and turned them orange. Purple carrots are so good. They're just my favorite. Anything purple is my favorite. Do you mind repeating your favorite balsamic? No, I don't mind repeating it, Deborah. They have a Chef AJ set of my 5 favorite flavors, which are all savory. None of them are sweet or fruity. The hottest being habanero, the medium being sweet heat, the next raspberry flame, and then the 2 that are not hot at all, Gilroy garlic and teriyaki. Goldhammer looks good in black. Yes, he does. He really does. He's black. It goes with his skin. What do you have to do in order to get the samples? Gary wants to know. So after you place the order, there is a leave us a message box. You put in Chef AJ and you put in the 2 flavors you want free. Yeah, Cruciferous Crunch, Zerlina, is great, both cooked and in a salad. I think Jay Leno is doing the same thing every day. What does Jay Leno do the same every day? I don't know if this was answered, but do you eat? I don't know what that is. Is it an arm? Oh, peanuts? No, I think that's a peanut. Absolutely not. I love them, but first of all, Goldhammer doesn't allow them because of the risk of aflatoxin. Peanuts are a legume, actually, not a nut, but they're very, very high in fat, and peanut butter to me is crack. So I used to eat it, and I used to love it, especially with chocolate, but I haven't had any fat since 2011, and I haven't dropped dead. I love blended up boiled cauliflower for creamy soups. Yeah, I have a great recipe for cauliflower bisque on the YouTube page. Blend up white beans. Yeah, very good. Yeah, white beans are very neutral. Yeah, that's nuts. My eyes look great because I'm wearing false eyelashes because unfortunately I just had my thyroid medicine increased because it was bad again. I was my hypothyroidism, and what happens to me is my eyelashes fall out. So I'm wearing false eyelashes, but even then, she does a really good job with the makeup. But I forgot the raspberry. Do you eat white or brown rice? So Missy, in general, I eat brown rice, and I'm not afraid to eat the Tex-Mani, which I know is from Texas and very high in arsenic. I'm not worried about that. I don't eat it all the time. I get lazy and don't always want to make rice in the rice cooker, so I'll buy the organic rice from Trader Joe's that I can microwave. It's the kind that Bailey eats every day, and it's just the perfect amount. It's like 2 cups, so it's exactly perfect. So I generally eat brown rice, but I love white rice. I don't avoid it. I just don't usually make it because I know it's not as nutritious. It's more of a guilty pleasure for me, but when I'm out, it's often all you can get. And so yes, I do eat white rice, just making sure that there's no oil in it. What is a good book for Instant Pot soups? The Secrets to Ultimate Weight Loss. My book has lots of Instant Pot soups. Kathy Hester also has an Instant Pot cookbook that's fabulous called the Ultimate Instant Pot Cookbook. You can get it at Costco. Jill Nussenow, Jill McKeever, and JL Fields all have wonderful Instant Pot cookbooks. Yeah, Goldhammer wears the same outfit because he doesn't have to think about it, and he looks good in black. Yes, grapefruit balsamic from Be Mon Paz is my favorite sweet flavor. California balsamic does not make a grapefruit, so I eat Chef Terry's grapefruit every day on my salad, and I love it. It's a fruity flavor, but for savory, like for rice and vegetables, I like the spicy brands that I mentioned. Okay, all right. I think that's it, guys. Unless you got more questions, I'll hang out a little bit because I'm probably not going to do it live much. Ooh, where did it go? Where did all the comments go? There we go. It's easier to see on the phone. Okay, you know, it's funny. There's a delay on the phone. I'm actually seeing it here first. So, Bailey, you want to say hi? Bailey's sleeping. Usually, it's funny because usually she wants to get in on the show. Bailey, come on. Say Happy New Year to everybody. These are the best oranges, by the way. I mean, I know you can't see the inside, but these are called Cara Cara, and the blood oranges, they're just so much better than regular oranges, in my opinion. Hey, Bailey. Bailey. It's so funny when you don't want her in the act, she's in the act. So please walk, don't run, and register for the live Ultimate Weight Loss Conference. If your families are resistant, they can come and eat the meals with us. We have to charge them because we get charged for the meal, but we give you the same price the hotel charges us. So what a lot of people do is they make it a family vacation, and their families join them for the meals, and the family does what they want, hiking, shows, that kind of thing. So we do it Labor Day weekend because it doesn't compete with any other plant-based conferences, and of course it's one of the only weekends that we can get both Goldhammer and Lyle together, which is one of the most important reasons because when they work together, this is the only place, it's fantastic. And you still have Monday to fly home, and the hotel is only $89 on Thursday and Sunday, and $129 on Friday and Saturday, and you can fit a lot of people in the room. People were having up to 5. I hope they're not watching this. Let me go get Bailey to say goodbye. Bailey! Oh, Bailey, come on, wake up. So, I'm sorry. She was sleeping. I was supposed to do a live today with Sandy Plewis from Australia. She contributed a recipe to my book of potato waffles, but she couldn't get the technology to work. She's in Australia. So sorry, I woke her up. Oh. Anyway, get a dog. When I interviewed Dean Ornish today, he was saying, walk your dog even if you don't have one. So in other words, get one. You can volunteer at the shelter. Hey, Bailey. This is the main reason you guys need to come to Vegas, because Bailey will be there. How many conferences can you go to see Bailey? Not too many, right? Okay. Oh. Every time I think I'm going to say goodbye, I see more stuff. Answering more questions. Ooh, Missy lost 100 pounds, and now I can't lose, and I have 70 to go. Well, I can help, Missy. Where you been? Are you in the Ultimate Weight Loss Program? Are you in my 12-week program? Do you have my book? What are you eating? But fantastic on 100 pounds. That's amazing. I mean, congratulations. And, as far as I'm concerned, if you're at a plateau, you're winning. I mean, most people can't maintain any weight loss, so that's terrific. So I'd like to know I'll wait a couple minutes here, not a couple minutes, a little bit, Missy, tell me what you're eating, because if you still have 70 pounds to go, how many vegetables are you eating every day? And how come you're not in ultimate weight loss? Let's see. No, didn't move yet, Tammy, on the 26th. Hi, Phil. Do I eat nuts and seeds? Andy, you must be new to me, because if you read my book or followed me, you'd know that I haven't had any added fat since January 1st, 2012. So it's been over 7 years, and I'm not telling you not to eat nuts and seeds. I know they're healthful. I'm a recovering food addict. I can't moderate my use of high-fat plant foods. So what I do is every year I get my blood tested. I get a fatty acid profile. It's been very high. I eat lots of greens. I eat something called purslane, which is verdolago in Spanish, and I get it tested and I monitor it. And what's interesting is even without adding any fat to my food, I'm still getting, you got to realize, like, everything has fat. There's trace fat in fruit. Greens have 3% of their calories from fat. Oats has about 20% of their calories from fat. And when I do Chronometer, I'm still getting something like, 10 or 12% of my calories from fat. So I'm not fat deficient. And if it ever came to the point where I had to, I would add flax or chia for sure, or take a good quality vegan DHA like the one they sell at True. Look at that. See, I told you. I woke her up to come say hello. Let's see what else is happening here. Yeah, I'm still waiting to hear from Missy. I eat mostly potatoes and peanuts. You can't eat peanuts and lose weight. Missy, you can certainly eat potatoes for snacks, but peanuts they're like 3,000 calories a pound. And first of all, you shouldn't be snacking. You should be eating enough food so that you don't need to snack. And if you're not hungry enough to eat vegetables, you're not hungry. Stop the peanuts and you'll lose the weight. Yeah, peanuts are, if you're going to eat nuts, then that's probably like the least healthy one you can eat, especially if you're eating them roasted. If you want to eat nuts, eat, an ounce of walnuts a day, not peanuts. No, peanuts are crack. She's so tired. Hello, Bailey. Say hello to everyone. I'm not a good cook, but my husband and I want to eat healthier. Which books of yours should we buy? We're also going to buy an Instant Pot. So, I would buy the second book because I was a chef longer by the time I wrote it, so I think the recipes are a little bit better. There's some really good recipes in the first book, though. The disappearing lasagna, the hail to the kale, the perfect pesto stuffed mushroom, all the dessert recipes. But it depends. Are you following an SOS-free diet? Do you need to follow a low-fat diet? The first book is not low-fat. The second book is. So I would buy both my books. Then you would know. Yes, Bailey is adorable. She's from the shelter. That's why you're not losing. Yeah, don't eat peanuts or any nuts if you want to lose weight. Right. Missy, the fat you eat is the fat you wear. Deborah, I will get that link to the conference in Vegas as soon as I'm offline. Yes. Thank you for the compliment on the makeup, Diane. That was done by Sammy Ramos at Sephora. Follow her on Instagram and also watch her on YouTube. She does the Sephora videos. I eat mostly whole foods. Yes, look into my program, Missy. We have a wonderful group of really lovely, supportive people, and many of them are going to be here. So why can't I? There we go. Yes, Colleen says UWL is awesome. Do you think when you eat you shouldn't be doing things like, yeah, Kat, okay. It's so funny because you're asking me this question on a day that I interviewed Dr. T. Ornish. And Kat's question is, do you think when you eat you shouldn't be doing anything but eating? Like not reading, watching TV, etc. So should. I don't like should because then you end up shoulding all over yourself. So ideally, yes, you should eat mindfully, ideally. Now, do I do it all the time? No. We often eat dinner watching Jeopardy. It's our favorite show. We don't watch much television. Just in terms of weight loss, it's not going to matter how you eat, if it's what you eat. But do you tend to, some people tend to overeat if they're doing something else? Yeah. But I eat the exact same amount whether sometimes I'm eating my carrots while I'm washing the dishes or whatever, but I'm eating the same amount of food every day. So would it be better? Probably for my digestion, my IBS, ideally, if I didn't do things like drive or whatever. Yes, absolutely. Do I still do that? Yeah, sometimes I do. Guilty as charged because I eat when hungry. And sometimes I'm in the middle of doing dishes and I'm like, hey, wait a minute, I'm hungry. So I eat. But it is better to not do that. Realistically, it's probably better to not even talk when you eat, to eat like the monks and not necessarily eat alone, but not even talk and really pay attention to it. And there's been talk, Amber was saying that in Vegas, we should have a mindful eating table where people just are not going to talk during the lunch. Good luck with that, not talking 90 minutes. They did that one day at True North, thought it was going to die. What about almond butter? So Bruce, almond butter is made from almonds. If it's unsalted and raw, it's probably fine. But remember, overweight women and women that are overweight and previously overweight can't eat a lot of fat and not be fat. And men tend to be able to eat a lot more fat. So just remember, Dr. McDougall, the fat you eat is the fat you are. So if you can eat it, here's the other thing, guys. You don't have to, this is why I don't like showing you what I eat. You don't have to eat like me. Eat the least restrictive version of a healthy diet you can eat and get the results you want. The problem is you don't get $1 million figure eating off the dollar menu, and you don't get an A+ figure eating a C+ diet. And so that's the thing. And we go through this all the time with the videos I do with Dr. Lyle about the ego trap versus the pleasure trap, that what happens is when people try to do this, what many people think of as an extreme diet, which is what I think of as just food, but this, quote, perfect version of a diet, and then they fail, or in their words, they fall short, they kick over the table, they don't try, and then they say, see, and they just eat everything. We don't want you to be in the ego trap, but the problem is the diet that gets you out of the ego trap keeps you stuck in the pleasure trap. So you end up like in a Chinese finger trap, ego trap, pleasure trap. So if you can eat almond butter and peanuts and be happy with your weight and health, eat them. They're healthful foods. They're just very, very, very calorically dense. So watch the Forks Over Knives calorie density lecture, and maybe you will understand that. Thank you for buying my books. I appreciate it. I would sign them for you. How do you recognize true hunger? Amy, for me, is I'm hungry enough to eat vegetables. If I'm hungry enough to eat plain steamed vegetables, I'm hungry. That's true hunger. Jean Crawford, the green powder, you can get just the dehydrated organic kale powder at Costco, or vitamin mineral grade. I'm a fat-seeking middle. Reduce my triglycerides. Wow, from 491 to 157 in 3 months. That's incredible, Celia. Do I have a cold? I had a cold. It was very cold at True North. I don't do well in cold weather, but it triggered my asthma. So what you're hearing, and that's asthma. It's the okay, that's it. I can't keep you guys more than an hour. You guys got stuff to do. So do I. So happy, healthy New Year to all of you. Thank you so much for your support. I hope to see you in Vegas, and I know you can have the health and the body you deserve. And this is your year to get it. Bye.